What's going on, guys? We're back again, and you guys seem to like the story that I have done, that I created for Dragon Ball. So, without further ado, here is part 2 of Raz, the Lost Saiyan. Years later, Raz has traveled to different planets and defeated the Yardrak people more times than he could count. After returning from a mission, he finds out another Saiyan by the name of Goku came there and found a way to go Super Saiyan and killed Frieza. The secret was to feel pain, which Raz very well knew all too well. After looking into other info, Raz travels to another planet where a squad leader, which was the name of the one who killed Raz's parents by the name of Grudge, has been recruiting to keep Frieza's rule alive. After arriving on the planet, he senses 50 troops and uses instant transmission and appears on for them, asking who you are. Raz says, a man for justice and revenge. Raz starts blasting away and stating, feel the wrath of the Saiyans. The leader says, how did a monkey survive? Raz states, because you underestimate us. After fighting 20 soldiers, Raz unleashes a huge blast, killing 20 or more, and looks around and says 10 left. More, let's end this. But the top 5 gain up on him, starts punching Raz in the stomach, in the jaw, everywhere, and looks at him saying, we just die already. He hits him, sending him in the dirt. Raz, imagining his father and his mother die all of a sudden, and a urge of strong power unleashes inside of him. The 10 look at him with a golden figure. Raze says, let's end this. Takes 5 out with one single blast. Raz charges at the last 4 of these soldiers. And he blasts 2. Then he hits one right through the face and rips apart the other one. Raz looks at Grudge and states, your turn. Raz grabs him both by his hands, kicks him in the face, punches him in the face, says that was for my father, continues to punch him in the ribs and the chest and all the way towards into the back, and says that was for my mother. Rips apart his legs where he cannot move, and then he blasts him 5 times in the back and says that is for my parents and that is for my people. Going back to his normal state after finally calming down, Raz goes to his ship returning home, and to inform everyone on his new power, his mission, and he returns telling the Yardrak leader, now I must go higher than this so-called Super Saiyan form. He tells everyone, I'm not sure how to go further, but I will find a way. Years later, which seems like years later, pass. Raz is trying to go even higher. Now knowing that Earth, a fellow planet where the name Kakarot, a fellow Saiyan, is from, that someone by the name of Majin Buu is running rampant through the universe again, as well as on Earth. Knowing that if he may come to Yardrak, he must be prepared. Without going through his normal day, someone informs Raz that the planet is going to be under siege. He says, who is that? Says the North Kai. He goes, who is coming? Majin Buu. And without further ado, Majin Buu appears in front of the entire town, just blasting away, destroying everything in sight. Raz quickly goes into Super Saiyan 2 form, which he was able to achieve during his training. Tells people to run while he is landing as many blows as he can to Majin Buu as quickly as possible, using every ounce of energy in after him. But nothing does anything. All Majin Buu does is regenerate, landing a massive blow back on Raz, rendering him unconscious. Raz wakes up hearing the crying of his fellow Yardraks dying, seeing all the people that Buu killed, as well as everybody else. Somehow or other, Raz unleashes Super Saiyan 3. because he digs deep down inside of him from all the lore he read about the Saiyans and everything he learned from the Saiyans while on his missions. He tells him this is going to be the last time. He attacks Majin Buu one last time, telling the Yardrak leader to get as many people as he can to run. But it doesn't do any good. Majin Buu unleashes heavy fire upon him, punching him, making him his own punching bag for what seems like hours, but only lasted into minutes. And Buu looks upon him with a smile, about ready to destroy him with a pink fire blast. But then he turns his head to something else and he smiles and just disappears, leaving him knocked out cold. However many minutes pass, we see Raze is getting healed by the Yardrak leader, saying, "Take your time, my son, please get up easy." But he says that I have failed. He was supposed to be in charge of protecting these people, but he knows that he has failed them. All the blood and sweat he poured into protecting these people, he had failed them. He looks up at his current situation of himself in the mirror, with blood and bruises all over him, again knowing he's failed his fellow comrades. He blames himself, and he tells this leader that I must become stronger. I have to become stronger. Buu is more powerful than you could ever realize, this leader states. I understand that, but I have to keep training, because how else am I going to defend not only you, but my future of whoever can carry on the Saiyan legacy. Days later, knowing that Majin Buu was destroyed, he is visited finally by Goku, the Saiyan also named as Kakarot. He offers him, "Hey, I will come train you if you will allow me to." He says, "Okay, how?" He says, "I will train you as much as you can, but it's up to you." So he understands that him and Goku will train off and on. He agrees. Years later, he knows that Goku arrives again, but now with a mysterious stranger. "Kakarot, what are you doing here? Or should I call you Goku? Whichever one you prefer." Goku laughs, hesitating, laughing. "Whichever one you prefer, Raze. I'd like you to meet somebody. Or actually two, Seeing another figure there. Straight hair. Some kind of armor. Nothing like a Saiyan. I'd like to introduce you to Vegeta. He's actually the prince of where he clearly states he's one of us as well. There's not very many of us left. Only us and our children." Raze goes, "Your children?" "Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. There's a lot of things I forgot to say, but there's someone else more important I would like for you to meet." He looks over, he sees a mysterious, another stranger holding a staff, as well as some kind of ball at the end of it. He looks around, he says, "I am Whis." "Whis? Oh, nice to meet you. May I get you something?" He says, "Oh yes, we are very hungry." While walking into the diner, the leader of the Yardrat people, "Please eat. Goku, you know you're always welcome here." "Thank you." They sit down. He goes, "Okay, Goku, so what are you doing here?" "I'd like to know if you'd like to come with me, as well as Vegeta, as well as Whis, to come train with us." "Well, why would I come train?" "Well, we just got done beating Frieza again." He says, "Well, what do you mean again?" "Well, he actually came back with the Dragon Balls," and he goes, what's the Dragon Balls?" Without Goku losing a beat, he goes into further detail about what the Dragon Balls are and what happened with, of course, Frieza returning from the dead by the Dragon Balls, with ones that were still alive within the Frieza Force. So he goes into further detail on what he can do with Whis. Whis informs him that he can train mortals and to go into godly form. Explaining him about Beerus as well, he, without hesitance, says, "Okay, I'm down to come." He says, "But you know this will be probably the worst or most intense training you will have in your life, correct?" Raze says, "I do not care. I need to become stronger. I need to win whatever fight I must fight in." He says, "Okay, then prepare your things and we shall leave at once." With leaving his dinner on his table, he goes right to his room, getting ready for everything that he is now facing. Now knowing that he can become stronger, just like Goku and Vegeta, or maybe stronger. He has a chance to prove to himself that he is a worthy Saiyan of his fellow ancestors, as well as his mother and his father, as well as what they died for. With given his plan to say goodbyes, he tells the Yardruck leader, "I do not know when I will return, but I will return, and I will return when I'm able to protect our people." He gives him a pat on the shoulder and says, "You know you're always welcome here, whether you are our species or our kind. You will always be our family." Without further goodbyes, they go with Whis, and Whis travels on to now Beerus' planet for more training, more intense adventures, with Raze expecting the unknown. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is, again, a rough draft detail of of the story. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I got part 3 coming very soon. So I hope you guys, again, once enjoyed this, and let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know. I'll see you on the next one.